My name is Lance Wilson, and I'm with the Chamber of Commerce, and today we are celebrating the ribbon cutting for Life Balance Recovery. With me I have former President Todd Dickerson, and we also have the owner of Life Balance Recovery, Chelsea, and therapist Logan. Yeah. We've got just a few of the really good people that are wandering around the building today, but we're glad to have them here. Chelsea, tell us a little bit about your business, specifically some of the things that you provide to the community and what you do specifically, and then maybe Logan as well.
Awesome, yeah. Do you want me to take this?
Please.
I'm Chelsea, I'm the owner, and I also do the business development for Life Balance Recovery. What we do here is mental health and substance abuse outpatient, so we have sober livings and we have a lot of people that work and live in the community here. Okay. So we have groups in the day and the evening to kind of, do what you need to do. As far as that goes, and then we have therapists you see individually. If you need family therapy as well, we offer that. And then we also, in fact, Logan is EMDR trained. It's a trauma-based therapy that really helps with some trauma if you have any physical, sexual, emotional abuse.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Logan, why don't you tell us a little bit specifically about the trauma, the EMDR.
Yes.
EMDR, there we go.
Yeah, no, so EMDR, it's fascinating, it's a less directive approach to attack kind of some of the underlying reasons that cause people to turn to substances for relief. The trauma causes that emotional distress that we want pain, we want numb, we want, forget about. Using EMDR allows us to get into the neural pathways, if you will, to rewire kind of how our brain communicates to where we don't feel the need for that release anymore, that we're more able to manage our emotions and have more of a stable affect. So it's pretty interesting stuff. That's been great.
Real quick, one more question, then I'll let Todd ask a couple. Is that something that's mandated by a doctor, or how does someone qualify for the EMDR? Do you just do that through an assessment?
Yeah, so EMDR is an additional certification to your master's level counseling degree. And so not all therapists are ethically able to do it. You gotta go and do a course on it. It's usually a couple-month process to go and get trained. It's a pretty intensive kind of training we go through to be able to provide that intervention.
And your patient, how do they fall into that category?
Yeah, so they come in and I'll do an assessment with them, and from there, and based on other kind of mental health and diagnoses going on, we'll be able to determine if there are appropriate, candidate for this, or if talk therapy is more appropriate.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, can you tell us a little bit about why you chose Spanish Fork, and talk to I know from past experiences that this position or this line of work can be very taxing on you and your employees, the emotional and mental draws. And can you tell us a little bit about how you guys deal with that aspect of it?
Absolutely. So I grew up in the area. I'm originally from Mapleton and still live in Mapleton. I come from the family disease model. So I have never struggled with substance abuse, but I've struggled with mental health. And I have a brother who has struggled and a sister who has struggled with it as well. So that's kind of what got me into the industry. I love Spanish Fork. It's my community. It's a great place to be. With my therapist and my whole team, we do a lot of group stuff together, and we hold each other accountable, because sometimes you get that transference with the client, like, oh, this person's coming in, it's bringing up my own issues. So we really try to make sure that we're all on a team together, do a lot of skill building type of stuff with each other.
That's great. So you rely on each other to help you through those hard times when you're dealing with people. So what is the best way, what type of groups, or what's the best way to get you the type of referrals? What's a good candidate to come in and utilize your services?
So the best way to go about that would be to call our number. It goes to my phone, actually, so I do all of the business development. So we'll do kind of a screening over the phone to make sure you're appropriate for our level of care. If you're actively drinking or acting out and like suicide ideation type of stuff, we won't be able to accept you, but we can get you to the right place. So we'll do that assessment and screening and make sure you're appropriate for here, and then we'll have you come in and do what's called the biopsychosocial. So we'll go through all of the ASAM criteria to make sure that you're appropriate for our facility here. So lots of groups that we do specific DBT, CBT skills groups, which are kind of like, maybe Logan should explain better, like grounding, kind of not acting out in the black and white thinking, kind of bring you to more of the gray area. And we have a lot of process groups, so processing through just whatever is coming up for you at the time, or going back if you need to like childhood traumas and things like that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. The next question I was going to ask was, tell us about, do you accept insurance? How does that work when a family comes in and their health insurance is involved? Kind of go through that.
Yeah, so we will run your benefits. So when we do a screening, that's part of the screening to make sure that it's appropriate for you. And we are in network with Wise, Imagine Health, First Health, Molina. We take the Medicaids, but we also take all of the out-of-network benefits. So we pretty much, if you live in the area, we can take your insurance. We just have to make sure that you're appropriate for our level of care. If you do not have insurance, we do offer a sliding scale, and we'll put you on our sliding scale to make sure it's affordable for you as well.
Awesome. If I'm coming in for a service, myself or a member of my family, we have a child that needs some help, what should we expect to experience when we come in as far as the dynamic in the settings, the visits, things like that?
Yeah, great question. So kind of going back to like what you're asking about EMDR, it's kind of the assessment process we go through. And coming in, I mean, we offer a range of kind of what Chelsea was touching on as far as DBT specific groups, psychoeducation groups, process groups, and then individual therapy. So based on kind of what we're seeing and what the needs are, we can tailor that to these groups would be more applicable to you, or this group or here, and kind of play with that to your best needs, right? Yeah. And then regardless of what groups you're in, you'll always have a therapist for an individual session once a week. And so you'll have that on top of the groups that we figure would be best for you. And with the individual, we can also tailor, do we need to have one of those where your wife comes in, or we bring your kids in, you know, do the family or do the couples. We can integrate that into the individual. So.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Very, very well.
Okay, Chelsea, could you tell us where you're located, how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can call our phone number. It's 801-367-0394, and then it will ask you and give you a prompting of if you're looking for services or if you have questions, extension 700, and that will go to me directly, and I'm happy to help however I can. We are located in Spanish Fork. Our address is 1291 Expressway Lane, and our website's www.lifebalancerecovery.com. Yeah,
this is great information. Logan, Chelsea, congratulations. Welcome to our Chamber of Commerce. We're so glad to have you part of our business community. Very much so.
Thank you.
We want to thank Costco for providing our cake today, and also we want to thank Channel 17. They do a great job and a great service here in our community broadcasting all of our events.